Hello, everybody. Happy Friday. Happy Friday. Oop, let me get this off me. Oh my goodness. I was actually videotaping, okay? I was videotaping how to embroider a baby onesie. So that video will be coming out soon. I just have to edit it and stuff. And I am customer order that I was working on. And I wanted to show you guys how I did it. So I did that. So as you can see, I'm a little overwhelmed, okay? I'm a little overwhelmed, which is probably why I picked today's topic to talk about this Friday because you know, I know how I'm feeling, and I know a lot of people out there are probably feeling the same way, and they probably think that what they're feeling is bad or it really sucks. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk to you guys about the downside of having an embroidery business as a side hustle. Okay, so for one side hustle one-on-one, okay, for those of you guys that don't know, because some people don't know what a side hustle is. The definition of a side hustle is like a part-time job or an extra job you have besides your full-time job. So those of you guys that have watched me for quite some time know that I still work full-time, right? And I do the embroidery business on the side, and I do it for several reasons. First of all, I like doing it. I really do enjoy embroidering. And the second reason that I do it for is my son. Okay, my son is going to VCU. He's should be starting his last year in September, hopefully. Okay, and college can be pretty expensive. So even though I saved for his tuition, and his tuition and his books are all set, I still have to pay for his dorm. And it's like a lot of times, you don't think of certain expenses. You think things are going to be okay, and you really don't realize how expensive things are. So it's kind of like, whoo. So I kind of use my side business of embroidery in order to help pay some of my son's dorm expenses while he goes over to VCU. So a lot of people do have like side jobs and everything to try to offset other expenses that they have. A lot of times too, it's just, you just need the extra money. They just want the extra money to save or whatever reason. Okay. But the thing is, in today's economy, the way things are going, things are so pricey that you got to hustle. Okay. You got to hustle. You got to make the extra buck, because as things go up, a lot of times your paycheck don't go up either. Okay. So you really have to do what you can to keep your head above water and stuff. I forgot to check to make sure that you guys can see and hear me okay. I am looking at the chat. I don't see anybody saying that they can't see or hear me. So I'm going to assume everybody's hearing everything fine. Okay. All right. So let's talk about this. All right. Now I'm just going to be brutally honest. Now I did a video a while back about the ugly truth of embroidery. Okay. Stuff that a lot of times people like to talk about. They always say everything is so great, hockey-dory and stuff like that, but they never want to talk about the bad stuff. Right. And it's probably several reasons. People don't want to, not discourage you from wanting to do something and stuff, and that's pretty cool. That's fine. But the thing is, sometimes when you want to do certain things, you have to know not just the good, you got to know the bad too. All right. So I want to talk to you guys about the downside of having the embroidery business. Now, the thing is, if the embroidery business is all you do, then a lot of these things may not be an issue for you. Okay. But if you're doing this as a side thing, just kind of like what I'm doing, okay, there's going to be certain challenges that you're going to come across. And these are some of the challenges that I personally have come across. And I just wanted to share, just in case some of you guys are feeling some kind of way. And that way you guys can come to realization that you're not alone. Okay, you're not alone. All right. Now, I'm not saying by any means, and I am saying that this is rough and you should just quit, give up. No, if you want something in life, no matter what it is, I'm a strong believer that if you really want it, you just gonna keep going and going and going until you actually achieve what you want in life. You only got one life. Make the best of it, okay? And really, follow your dreams and follow those stars and do you. That's really my whole philosophy has always been, okay? If you got people around you that don't understand you and don't understand why you want to do what you do and your dreams and stuff like that. I don't know. To me personally, I kind of feel like you're surrounding yourself around the wrong people. Okay. So you really want that positive energy around you. But the thing is, you also want a realistic view as well. So I'm going to start talking about some of the things or the challenges that I feel, that I've come across as I started this embroidery journey as a side hustle and stuff. This is the one thing, and it's probably going to be the top one that a lot of people probably are going to be like, holy snap, she's kind of right. I was going to say another word, right? So anyway, time. Owning a business, okay, regardless, what kind of business you have, whether it's embroidery or doing whatever, it's going to require time. All right. And a lot of times people don't realize that in the very beginning because you just kind of think big and you don't think about all the details that go into running a business. Okay. A simple detail as you could forget about like your accounting. Okay. The administration work that goes along with running a business. Okay. Like it or not, when you have a business, you need to make it legit. You need to make sure that you register your business. You need to make sure that you are set up to pay the taxes on all your sales and all that kind of stuff and everything. You don't want to get caught out there by Uncle Sam and end up with a bunch of problems. So, I do not advise on doing stuff under the table. It's just not good. It's not a good practice that you want to start. If you want to do something like this, me personally, I just like doing things legit. I'm a firm believer that if you do things the right way in life, you don't have to really watch your back that much. That's just how I see it. Okay. So time is a big, big, big factor. Now, for those of you guys that have been watching me, for the last couple of weeks, my life has been kind of in a little hectic state. Okay. I lost my dad. He passed away. So during the process before he passed away, he was really ill. I was driving back and forward between two states, and the states were not close. Okay. I'm driving from Virginia all the way to Florida. I wasn't really in my domain. Okay. So I wasn't in my sewing room. I couldn't really like process orders and stuff like that. So there's a lot of challenges when you have a side hustle. Okay. Now with the time, what I mean is several aspects of it. Okay. First of all, you have to carve time out of each day in order for you to run the business. Okay. For you to, look at the orders that you get, for you to process your orders, for you to actually, deliver the orders, package them up and everything like that. Document your sales, meeting with customers, all of that takes a lot of time. Okay. And the thing is, when you are working full time, right? So like during in the morning, I'm actually working. Okay. So when I get home in the afternoon, that's when I turn on the business hat. Okay. And then I have to start working here. So as you can see, it's like, you only get 24 hours in a day and you got to sleep too. So your time is very, very limited. And when your time is very limited, you don't have time to be messing around. Okay. You don't have time to like just be hanging out, joking around and all that kind of stuff. Because it's like you get up in the morning, you're on a tight schedule, you got to go to your 9 to 5. You go to that 9 to 5, you do your magic over there, okay? And then when you get off, then you have to go home and then you got to do your magic for yourself. So that can be very draining also, okay? Because it's like you're nonstop. You're like a robot. You're like up in the morning, you do what you got to do. When you're done there, you go home and then you do what you got to do. And then until you're finished with all your orders, that's when you finally get some sleep. So time is really of an essence, and it's something that is very, very valuable, and you really have to learn how to manage it. Okay. The other thing that one of the things that I find can be pretty challenging when you have a side hustle is, especially like what I do, your life is going to change. It's going to change big time. Okay. Now, what I mean by that is that think about what you were doing on that time that you now have dedicated to your business before. Okay. Most likely, like with me, I was hanging out a lot with some of my girlfriends. I was, just going a lot to wineries. I was, doing a lot of social events and all that kind of stuff. In my community, we have like a book club, we have a movie club, and I like to hang out. I do. I like to meet people. I like to hang out and have a good time. So a lot of those activities that I was doing had to kind of take a back seat. Okay, for the simple fact that when you get an order, right, and you have a customer that comes to me and that or comes to you and says, hey, I need to get some jackets embroidered. I have 5 jackets, I need them in like 4 days. You can't just come out and tell your customer, well, you know what, I would really like to work on your orders, but first I want to go to the winery and I want to have a couple of drinks with my girlfriend, and then I'll get them done next week. That's not gonna rock. It's not gonna roll. It's just not gonna make your business successful. You can't do that. Okay. So what ends up happening is, your social life is gonna suffer a little bit. Okay. So you're going to have some friends that are going to be very understanding, and they're going to be like, oh man, you're rocking this, you're doing your thing, you go ahead. Let me know when you have like a moment you want to take a break, which I do. I have some really good friends that do that. They're, because they totally understand. And, they're like, let me know when you want to get together for some lunch or dinner or something like that. And then you might have some friends that just don't get you. Okay. They just don't, they don't understand what you're trying to do, and your life changed, right? And unfortunately, they just don't understand that. Okay, so at that point, that's when I say to people, that's when you got to make a decision as to how you want to roll. You know what I'm saying? Like what kind of people you want to maintain in your life. Okay, so it's very, very, very life changing. Okay, this is the other thing too that a lot of people really don't understand. When you are serious about owning a business, okay, that business does not shut off for you. Okay, even though it's a side hustle, and even though you are getting up in the morning and you're still going to that other job to go work for someone else, even though you're out there and you're working, while you are working, you're still going to be thinking in the back of your mind about the things that you have to do. And there's going to be so many things, and that's what I mean about the time. The time is just so it takes so much time to really do well in a business that you don't have any time to spare. You really don't, because you got to, what goes through my mind. Okay, and I'll tell you right now, when I am going to the job and I have a little travel time, right, to get to the office, what's going through my mind is I'm sitting on the bus and I have my little laptop and stuff, and I'm jotting down ideas. I'm jotting down ideas of new products that I can put in my shop, new things that, new ideas that I can try. I start looking for new designs. I start thinking about my marketing plan. How can I better market myself? Trying to go through all the emails to see what customers I need to reach out to. Look at my orders and see what orders am I going to do first when I get home tonight. There's just so many different things that you have to do. So it's like, you're going to live, breathe, eat, everything, your business. Okay. That is what it is, who you are. Okay. Because that's what you really love to do. So what ends up happening also is you're going to be talking a lot about your business because you are passionate about it. It's what you want. It's what you like doing. And you're going to probably bump into some people, like old friends, right, that just don't understand your journey in life. And they may come out and be like, okay, I'm sick and tired of you talking about the embroidery business. I'm sick and tired of you talking about, the machines. I'm sick and tired of you talking about, different business topics and stuff like that. And that's okay. And that, that's all right. But just be aware that there's going to be moments where you're just going to have that, that odd moment with someone and stuff, um the other thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about is the hard thing for me sometimes. It can be good and then it can be bad. Okay, is sometimes a business can turn some of your processes can be repetitive. Now, what do I mean by that? What I mean is, when like on my Etsy shop, I have a lot of kitchen towels, right? And a lot of times I'll get orders for those kitchen towels. And I have been for a while, been getting people that have been reaching out to me individually because they say they want a bulk order of those kitchen towels. And I'm like, okay, so what I mean by repetitive is sometimes what ends up happening is you're doing embroidery work that's very, very repetitive. Okay, it's not really like different. All right, it's like, okay, I'm doing this kitchen towel for the 100th time. Okay, and it can get kind of wearing on you, and it can get kind of like, oh, I gotta do it. So you can get to that point. All right, but it's just part of a business. Okay, it's just it is what it is, right? I mean, don't what I tell myself is just don't, Jeanette, don't think of it that way. Okay, you designed this, they love it. Do your thing. That's what I tell myself. Okay. But there, regarding, let me go back a little bit about time because something just popped in my head. Um, I when I was in Florida, right, and I went to Joann's with my sister. One of the things that I started doing was I started looking at sewing patterns, right, and I saw a lot of the sewing patterns of really cute things that I wanted to do. But one of the things that I noticed is I bought one sewing pattern. Now, a second time, me and Nancy went to Joann's, and they didn't have the sewing patterns for $1.99. They actually, oh, I'm kind of like in the dark, ain't I? Okay, I hope you guys can see me okay. I'm sorry about that, guys. You can tell I was totally unprepared today. Okay, so I don't even have my lights or anything. Oh my goodness. All right, let me see. Let me see if I could get more light here. Sorry, guys. Anyway, so I'm going to keep talking, okay? Oh, this is on. Is this on? Okay, let me see if I can get more light here. Oop, okay, I think I got more light. All right, sorry guys. All right. So anyway, let me see. Can this light turn on? It's not turning on. It's not on. Okay. So I went again to go look at those sewing patterns, right? And then one of the things that I noticed was the sewing patterns weren't on sale. So because they weren't on sale, there you go. A little more light. Oh my goodness. I was sitting in the dark. Okay. But at least you guys heard me, right? Okay, so all right, here we go. All right, so the sewing patterns weren't on sale. So because the sewing patterns weren't on sale, I put them back. But another thing that went through my mind was, here I am, as soon as I got back from Florida, I had to fill a whole bunch of orders because while I was in Florida, I had a lot of customers that were reaching out, a lot of small business owners that were reaching out to me because they had a lot of business shirts they had to get done, some jackets that had to get done. And of course, I couldn't do anything for the simple fact that I wasn't home, right? So here I am here, and I have this one package of sewing patterns that I wanted to try, which is for a dog jacket for Mello. And I haven't even been able to open up the envelope. Okay, and that is the other downside that I say about owning a embroidery business. I got into embroidery and sewing because I really love to do it. However, though, when you are running a business, you are so focused on the customers and filling orders that sometimes it's really difficult for you to find the time for you to sometimes explore other things or to do other things that you want to do. Like, I would love to be able to have a day to myself where I could just put everything away and then just start sewing a tote bag or just sewing a wallet or just playing around with different things. So, it's just really, really hard. So, finding that time is very, very limited. Okay. So, yeah, that's, the repetitiveness. You're always doing stuff over and over again. And it's like, it can be very, very overwhelming. The other thing is there's just so many things that you don't think about when you own an embroidery business and you have the Etsy shop and all that kind of stuff, is the small stuff. All right. Like, I touched based on, filling the orders and everything. But what about the other stuff? Like, how you market yourself, and also like, dealing with the different types of orders from the different places that you're getting them from. Because I have gotten orders personally online where people have reached out to me and to get a custom order done. I have also people that are local from me that, they reach out to me here, and then they come over to the house, and I have to talk to them about what it is that they want to do, show them color threads, and try to help them out and everything. That takes time. That is not something that's real quick. Okay, if anything's quick to me, the orders that I get through my Etsy shop are the quick orders, because they are the ones that, the listing is there, the product is there. The only type of customization is a name on some of my towels and some of my items. So, those are pretty easy to fill. But whenever I am meeting with customers locally, that takes a little more time, because I had to actually, sit down with them, look at what it is that they want me to do. And sometimes I have to look at the products that they want me to embroider on, because I usually have customers come to me with their own products. A lot of that takes time. And, like I said, when you are working full time and then you have an embroidery business on the side, time is like, it's not a lot of it. You don't have a lot of it. Okay. So it's really, really hard. Okay. The other thing too is that I want to talk to you guys about is the multitasking. All right. Now, to me, okay, and this is just me talking, a lot of times people, you hear that term multitasking. A lot of people come out and say, hey, I used to hear that a lot when I went to job interviews. They would say, do you know how to multitask? And I always came out and I always said, I can only think on one thing at a time. Now, can I work on something, then stop and work on something else? Yeah, but working on two things at the same time is not humanly possible, because the human brain cannot handle that. However, though, I believe in quality work. Okay, so what I like to do is I like to manage my time wisely, so that way I can make sure that at the end of the day, I am producing quality products. Now, that is usually how I always answered that question at an interview. And a lot of times that kind of like set the people back, like, oh, like, okay. And the reason why I say multitasking, be very, very careful with this, is when you are doing two things at one time, okay, you can make mistakes big time. Give you an example of that. Let's say that you have to iron something, right? Like maybe you're ironing tender touch to a shirt or something like that. You put it on there, but then at the same time, you have to rethread your embroidery machine, right? So what can happen is that you can have the iron on the onesie, and then you're threading, and while you're threading, you forget about the iron on the onesie, and then you burn the shirt. Or what you could do is you could be running back and forward so much that you don't pay attention to the color threads that you have on the machine, and you can accidentally be you start the machine and you're embroidering with the wrong color thread. The reason why you don't want to really multitask doing two things at one time, especially when you have an embroidery business, is because of the mistakes that can happen. And remember, quality is what your business is all about. If you start producing products that are not of good quality and of good standards, people are going to talk about you, and they're not going to use your services. Okay. They are going to, it can damage you. It can damage you big time. I'm telling you, I said this in the past. If you have to, if your job is shoddy, don't let it walk out the door. Practice and practice and practice until you meet the good quality standard. Okay. Remember that product talks about you. Okay. When you're talking with your customer, you make that impression. Now, that's only if you are meeting with orders locally, right? When you meet with the customer and you're meeting with them locally, you're having a conversation with them, you're gathering the requirements and stuff like that. So it's like they getting to know you. That's the first impression. However, though, when you have an Etsy shop, you don't really know these customers. You're getting orders from all over the world, okay? So what's happening is these orders are coming in. You have to embroider it, and then you have to package them and you send them out. Well, the first impression that customer is really going to get from you, okay, even though they looked at that listing and they like your listing, to me, that's not really an impression. That just means that, they like what they saw, okay? However, though, the real test is when you mail out that product and they open up that packaging, okay? Which is another reason why I say the packaging can be really important. You don't want sloppy packaging. I don't mean to say that you have to come out and buy the most expensive packaging that's out there, all right? You don't have to buy this expensive shipping boxes, the tissue paper, and all that kind of stuff. You don't have to go overboard. But what I am saying is that you don't want it to look sloppy either, all right? So when you are packaging your items, make them nice, neat, and inviting, so that when the customer gets that package, they're already kind of like, oh, this is nice. And then when they open the package and they look at the product that came from you, that is the point that you want them to go, oh, wow, I love it. Wow, this is it. That's the impression you want, okay? Because that is what's going to really help make you successful. You don't want sloppy work. So do not, I tell people all the time, don't, one thing at a time. Just do one thing at a time. The multitasking, unless you have a process, okay, a laid out business process on how you are producing your items, be very careful. Okay. So, and remember too, mistakes cost you time. There's two ways you can look at mistakes. Okay. Mistakes can be a learning opportunity. It can be a moment where you can come out and say, oh, okay, I'm learning, got it, useful. However, mistakes cost you time also, and they do cost you money. So hopefully when you make a mistake, it's a mistake that has some value in it. Even though if you really think about it, let's think about this. I don't think there is a mistake that won't have any value. Because even if you multitask, let's say you multitask and you screw up, that is still valuable, because you know what that just told you? Don't multitask, because you're just going to screw up. Okay, that's what it told you. So, you know what I mean? So you have to, just be aware of all this stuff, okay? The other thing that I wanted to talk to you about is, let's see, your energy. Your energy. This happens to me. There are going to be days, okay, and I'm sure that most of you guys are aware, when you are going to feel like, bleh, okay, like, ugh, okay, I don't want to do this. I don't want to get up in the morning. I don't want to turn on the machine. I don't want to process an order. But guess what? You got to do it. You got to do it, okay? Because that is what is the sacrifice of owning your own business, whether it's embroidery or I don't care what it is, all right? You have to get up. You got to do it. You got to hustle, whatever. So my advice to you is, I don't know, drink some Coca-Cola, Pepsi, get a cup of coffee, breathe in and out. Maybe just meditate for 10-15 minutes. You don't want to meditate too long, okay? Because remember, the more time you waste, the less time you have to fill those orders, okay? So you're going to have to just suck it up. Suck it up. Don't think about it. Just focus on what you want to do and what you have to do, and just do it. We all get that way. I get that way. There are times when I gotta be honest, it's like, ugh. And there have been times when I have my little notebooks. I got my notebook here, and I put down, and I'll write today's date, and then I'll put tasks, and then I'll write down all the different stuff that I have to get done for the day. Okay. It's one of the things that I do while I'm traveling both back and forth is, as soon as I get home, I have to check my Etsy shop. I got to print out the orders. I have to set up so that I can finish the orders. I have to call some customers and see if they're going to come by, bring their products, and then I start setting up appointments. And I always set up like an hour time for each customer. I have to package my orders. I have to go into QuickBooks because the administration side of things. That's why I told you guys I have Friday, and Friday is my administrative day. Okay. I mean, I log into QuickBooks online and I go through my stuff for the week. Okay. Don't wait for the last minute to do this stuff. It's going to get ugly. It's going to get ugly. Okay. You're going to forget about things that you bought. You're going to forget about all the times when you drove over to, the post office. You're going to forget about the customers that you talk to. You're going to forget about, so many things. All right. So do it on a weekly basis. Do it on a weekly basis. Don't care what day you pick, but just do it and just schedule that 1 hour. That 1 hour is QuickBooks or whatever administration hour. And, and that administration hour consists of a lot of things. It consists of balancing the books for your business. It also consists of you looking at your inventory. Okay. Look at all the threads. If you have a sewing room similar to mine, what I do is after I do my QuickBooks, I actually stand up in the middle of this room physically, seriously. I do that. And then I start turning and I look around at, and what I do is I look at my stabilizer. Am I running low on stabilizer? If I'm running low on stabilizer, that means I have to place an order. I look at my threads. Okay. Or do I have any particular colors that are starting to run low that I have to order? Okay. I look at my bobbins. I look at my fabrics. I make sure, my machines are maintained and everything. I mean, you just do like a quick scoop. Now, I'm not saying that every week you have to go out there and buy your supplies. Okay. But you have to start keeping an inventory of stuff that you're running low on. The last thing you want to do is that you want to be in a situation where you got a whole bunch of orders coming in, and then all of a sudden you ran out of red thread, or you ran out of bobbins, you ran out of stabilizer, and you got orders you got to fill. It's like, that's the last thing you want. Okay. So, you just have to stay organized. That is the most important thing. Okay. And this is the thing. If I was doing just this was all I was doing, I honestly believe that it would have been a lot easier for me. Okay. For the simple fact that I could get up in the morning and just focus on here. Okay. But because this is just not the only thing that I do, okay, this is a side, okay? It will become the only thing that I do when I retire in 3 years, but 3 years ain't here yet, okay? So I still have to work at my full-time job. So right there, it's like 10 hours is gone. From every day, I have 10 hours, right? Then I usually kind of try to get like 6 or 8 hours of sleep. But the rest of that time, okay, isn't here. So you can only imagine, right? So it's like there's just really very little time for socialization. So one of the downsizes, I say big time, is, social life. It's going to be very minimal. You're not going to have a really huge social life when you got a whole bunch of stuff going on, okay? Because you got to stay focused on what you're doing and everything. So let me see, what did I write down in here? Because I was just really feeling like, and I was like writing it down. So my first line in here, I have the time, and we already talked about, you really have to know how to manage it well, make sure that you make the best out of every moment, and just do your thing. Just do your thing. It can get in the way of being able to do other stuff. And I mentioned that, like my sewing pattern. I bought the sewing pattern. I really want to do sewing. I even got quilting machine. I got my sewing machine back there, but I have not been able to turn them on because I have been using my embroidery machines to fill all my orders and stuff like that. My energy, pretty low. Okay, it does get low at times, trust me. So if you guys are out there and you're doing the same thing, and sometimes you feel like, Jesus, this is bad, well, you know what? You're not alone. Okay. And this is the other thing too. You know, your energy can really not just get sucked up by all the stuff that you got going on, because trust me, when you are doing, it's basically kind of like working two full-time jobs. That's what you're doing. Okay. And the thing is, it's not just all the stuff, but you know, customers can drain your energy too. But you have to make sure you manage that, and you can manage it. And that's one of the things that I really love about having an embroidery business. Okay. Not all customers are going to be right for you. Okay. Now, what I mean by that is, you know, I like to enjoy working with my customers. If I find that there's an issue and someone is like attitude, or they're trying to like get work for nothing, okay, which I'm sure a lot of you guys probably have come across, okay, where people have asked for work to be embroidered, and then you give them a price and they come out and they try to like, you know, haggle you or something like that, which I don't even entertain at all. That is just a big no for me, okay? Like I said it before, if you guys have watched me, you guys have heard me say this. My pricing, I make sure it's fair, not just for me, but for them as well. If they have to haggle, that means they really need to go find someone else to work on their stuff, because I'm just not going to allow anyone to use me. I just don't allow it. It's not going to happen. You're just talking to the wrong chick. You're going to have to go somewhere else, hon, because it ain't going to happen here. So that's just how I feel about it. Okay. You know, so, you know, some people are different. Some people just, you know, will say, okay, I'm not going to fight over a dollar or two. To me, you know, it's not the money. To me, it's about two things. Okay. Now I'm going to explain this so that you guys can understand where I'm coming from. Okay. I'm not saying that I'm right, but I'm saying this is how I do me. All right. It's two things. First of all, I find it very disrespectful. Okay. The second thing also is it's a hustle. I know, you know, you're trying to hustle me, and I'm not going to let you hustle me. And this is the reason why I say it's a hustle. Because what happens is, if let's say you come to me and you say, hey, can you embroider this hand towel for me? Now, my lowest fee for anything, okay, is $15. Now, if you give me a hand towel and you say I want an initial on this hand towel, I will turn on the machine and I will embroider that, but it's 15 bucks, okay? Let's say you come out and you tell me, well, Jeanette, it's only one letter, I'll pay you 10. Now, well, first of all, it's not going to happen, okay? Because I'm going to be like, no, it's 15, okay? If you want to pay 10, you're going to have to ask someone else to do it. I'm very blunt. I have absolutely no problem talking my mind. My sister can vouch for that, okay? She's seen me do it lots of times. But you know, let's say for instance, I went to a winery and I had too many glasses of wine, and then I decided to do it for 10. Okay, let's say I did that, all right? Well, you pay me the $10, I embroider that hand towel and I initial it, and then I give it to you. You're happy because you got it for $10. Me, I'm probably feeling some kind of way, okay, because I didn't get what I wanted to get from my services, but I'm letting it go. This is the big problem that I have, and this is something that I want you guys to think about. When you do that, this is what that person is going to do. And trust me, it will happen. The lady's going to come out. Let's say it's a lady, and she asked for that hand towel. I did it for 10 because she haggled with me, right? She's going to go somewhere and someone's going to see that hand towel, and they're going to be like, oh, wow, that's a beautiful hand towel. That is really nicely embroidered. Where did you get it? You know what they're going to do? They're going to say, I know exactly where you can get it. Her name is Jeanette. This is her contact number. But listen, she's probably going to give you a price. You can haggle her. You just tell her that you want a lower price and she'll do it at a lower price. Trust me, I do it all the time. That's what's going to happen. And then what's going to happen is that then you're going to get that customer, and then every time you give a price, they're not going to respect your price. They're going to try to haggle you. They're going to try to take $1 or $2 off your price. Is that going to make you feel good? Is that going to make you feel like, your work is being valued? No. And then you know what? The word will get around. So that is one quick way for your business to just go right down the tubes. Okay. People talk. Okay. Now, this is the talk that I want about me. All right. The prices are reasonable. The work is top-notch quality. That is what you want people to be saying about you. That is exactly the conversation that you want people to have once you hand them their product. Okay. I want the conversation to come out and say, oh, that's a beautiful embroidered hand towel. Where did you get it? Oh, I got it from Jeanette. Top quality work. That's the conversation that needs to happen. Okay. And that's what's, gonna happen, because first of all, nothing leaves my home if it's not top notch. And I don't allow the price haggling at all. I just don't I don't entertain it. It's not even something to consider. Won't do it. Forget about it. It just ain't gonna happen. Not here. You can do it somewhere else. I'm good with that. And this is the other thing too. Why would I want a customer that doesn't value my work? Why? You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean by being disrespectful. So some people may come out and be like, well, Jeanette, I don't agree. And that's fine. You don't have to agree with what I'm saying, But the thing is, like I said, that's the beauty about when you own your own business. You run it the way you want to run it. You run it the way you're comfortable running it, okay? I know my comfort level. I know the quality of my work. I know what I'm worth, and that's what I demand. I'm just not one of those people that you can just come up to and name a price, and I'll be like, oh, okay, that's fine. I'm good with it. It's just not going to happen, okay? So, that could be very draining also, okay, of your energy. And when you don't have time because you're running this business as a side hustle, okay, you don't have time for that negotiation back and forward. And I'm just not going to entertain it. I just don't. I really don't. I will listen to you. I will listen to the requirements and everything like that. And I take into consideration stitch count. I take in consideration the details of the design. I take in consideration the type of material that you're asking me to embroider, whether I have to get something digitized or not. All those things are taken into consideration. I also think about my time. Don't ever think that my time is never included. And then what I'll do is I'll quote you a price. And that's another thing also. Not every project that you get is going to have the same price, because embroidery is custom work. It is custom work. So, you have to be conscientious of that. And, and explain to the customers, this is my price and this is why. A lot of times people don't know what embroidery is and what it entails. And when you start explaining the process of everything that you have to do, people start to appreciate that. And then they understand why things cost the way they cost. You got to remember, embroidery is luxury and stuff. So don't let those customers drain your energy and stuff like that, especially if you're running an embroidery business as a hot side hustle, because you need all the energy that you can get, okay? Because you're already tired from the other job, and then now you're coming home to do the job that you really love and are passionate about. So you want all your energy here. And the last thing you want is to have the negative energy doing what you truly love. So, that's just how I feel about it and stuff. And let me see what else. And I think that was most of the stuff that went through my mind. Because I am going to tell you, I think that mostly, I'm okay. It's just that I am trying to get back to my normal life, okay? Since my dad passed. So I am very backed up on a lot of things. I have a lot of customers that were reaching out to me, and I am working on a lot of local orders. And then I'm getting my orders online that are starting to come in. And and at the same time, on a personal note, I'm trying to go to the gym because I like to swim. I just love it when I'm in the water and I'm swimming. I just think it feels so good. And I always want to like take that time also for myself. So it can get really overwhelming when you have a side business. A lot of times people, they're like, oh, I want to own my own business. It's a lot of fun. It is fun, but it's a lot of work. That is one thing for sure. It is not something that, you can just, that is easy. I mean, it's just, I don't know what else to say except that you're going to be working hard. But in life, anything that's worth having, you're going to work hard for. So if you enjoy it, and you like doing it, you're not gonna mind the sweat. You really aren't, because you're loving what you're doing, and you're doing your thing. So to me, it's like, just do you. Just do you. I mean, you're gonna have your days where you're gonna be tired, you're gonna feel crappy. But it's okay. Just know that you're not alone. There's a lot of people out there that still work full time and, have the little side business. But, you have weekends also. You got federal holidays. That's what I tell myself. It's like, and those are the days that I really get to kind of like catch up mostly. But you really have to know time management and stuff. And just know that when you do this little adventure in your life, it's going to change. Your life is going to change drastically because you made a decision where you're going to be really committed. And you need that support around you. So, when you start to do things like this, you're going to start noticing that your surroundings might change a little bit, like your people, friends that you used to have and stuff like that. Like I said, some are going to be understanding and they're going to cheer you on. And those, honestly, to me, those are the type of people you want in your life. Honestly, the cheerleaders, the ones that want to see you succeed. And there was something that I saw once on Facebook where, it talked about, not everybody's always going to be happy for your success. And it's kind of true because, you got to remember, in life, sometimes, you have people that are in your life in a particular moment in time. And, I'm a firm believer that you got to make the most out of your life, no matter what you choose to do, and this isn't just embroidery. I'm talking about anything that you do in life, make the most of it because, especially with my dad passing, he was 81 years old, but I will say this, I know he enjoyed his life. He enjoyed every moment of it. He did what he loved to do, and he really did enjoy his life. And, when I think about that, I want to enjoy mine too, because it's a journey and you only have one. And it's, so that's why to me, I really feel like you have to be selfish. You have to put yourself first because this is your life. You want to enjoy it. So, think about you, what makes you happy. Surround yourself around those that are supportive of your dreams because, you don't want this life to be over and you didn't live it to the fullest. You didn't enjoy it. There's a lot of negative people out there. Just shoo them away. Let them be negative with somebody else. They don't have to hang out with you, I mean, and it's one of the things that I tell my son too. Not everybody in life's going to like you anyway. You know, I mean, there's some people that give my videos a thumbs down. There's some people that give a thumbs up. I mean, to those who give a thumbs down, well, okay, well, whatever, you know. I mean, there's lots of people to watch. I'm okay with that, you know. If I could just help one person, I'm good. I'm good with it, you know. So, you know, it's just, to me, you know, running this embroidery business as a little side hustle right now, I mean, it is very fulfilling to me. You know, I have done, you know, I've met a lot of great people through the channel. I've met a lot of great people, you know, through embroidery and sewing and stuff like that. And it has really helped me financially to help Carlito pay for his dorm. Because one of my goals is to make sure that my son graduates college debt free. There are so many college students out there that they graduate from college with nothing but student loan debt. And I don't want that for my son, because life is rough out there anyway. And the last thing I want is for him to have something else to worry about. So, you know, yeah. So anyway, so that was my share for this Friday. And we are under an hour. You believe that? Under an hour and stuff. So I'm going to go through the chat and I'm going to say hi to everybody. And let's see if you guys have any questions, or if you guys want to share your experience as to, you know, owning an embroidery business on the side, any of the challenges that you guys have been experiencing yourself and stuff. Because I thought maybe, you know, this Friday, you know, we could just talk about it, have like an honest conversation about it. So that way, you know, if someone's feeling a little down about something, or, you know, I just don't want people to feel alone and feel like, you know, like they're screwing up, or, you know, feeling down about it and stuff. We all feel that way. We all, you know, we all have our moments. We're all human. To me, what's important is that you don't give up, and that you go after your dream. And, you know, you're going to make a mistake. You make a mistake. So what? And, you know, just take it slow too. And that's another thing too, also is, and which is something that I need to do myself. And I'm starting to think I might have to do this, is, when a business is yours, you can really control the volume that you get, right? So what I usually try to do is I like to process one of my orders pretty quickly, because I like to be known to have a fast turnaround time. That could be a good thing. That could be a bad thing. It could be a good thing because the customers really know that they're going to get their items pretty fast. And, you know, that's a good thing. And they like that. It's a bad thing because that puts a lot of pressure on me. And if I got a lot of orders at one time, then I got to process all those orders really quick. And I may not have enough time. So it kind of goes with the manage of the time thing, you know, so just be aware of that, you know. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll take a customer's order and then I'll just write it down on the schedule, and I'll say, okay, I can take your order. I'll have it done for you, not this Saturday, next Saturday. Is that okay? You know, and I'll work with them, you know, but I try to spread out my local orders as much as I possibly can. So that way I can go to a winery once in a while with my girlfriend, or I can like call my friend Patty up and go, hey, you want to meet up for dinner, or you want to go out to eat, or, hey, you know, what are you doing? You want to go for a swim tonight? You know, you want that alone time. Okay. And make sure you get that too. Don't, you know, make sure you have that time for you. That's really, really important. I find that sometimes people don't do that. And then that's when you can really go on a downfall. So, you know, it's, some people call it being selfish, but if that's the case, then I guess I'm selfish, you know, because I like my alone time. I like to meditate. I like to sit in my husband's massage chair for like 20 minutes and feel good. I like to go for my swim. And I'm not going to stop doing that, because I need to take care of me. Because if I don't take care of me, I'm not good to my family. I'm not any good to my friends. And I'm not going to be good to my customers, because I'm not going to be feeling it while I'm embroidering their items. Okay. So, you know, that's just how I feel about it. So anyway, Let me see who is here. We got a bunch of people. Hey, Sassy. I see Jackie, Deborah, Robin, Becky. Hey, Jail Love. I like your name, Jail Love. I kind of like that. That's like so cool. Hey, Judy. I see Debbie. Hey, Arlene. How are you? Baby Giant Services. Good evening to you, too. Hey, Miss Max. How are you? Hey, Shirley from So Too We Begin Embroidery. And so, and we, you know what? Don't worry, Shirley. I am keeping an eye on the sewing and quilt show because I definitely want to meet as many of you guys as possibly as I can. So I am going to be posting information about that. I think they are coming into Fredericksburg, Virginia in September. I believe September is the time frame. So, Miss Max, if you are out there, make sure you are ready because I'm going to be picking you up so we can do our girl trip out there. Hey, So Love, how you doing? Hey, Donna Richards, I see Trisha. Girl for Real, Margie B. How are you? Eartha, Angela and Stitches. See, Margie, how are you? Hi, guys. Iris, how you doing? Daphne, well, Miss Michelle, okay, because you know I could screw up a name, okay. Hey, Leslie, how you doing? The Good, Bad, and the Ugly. Yes, Judy, that one. That was actually a really good video because I had a lot of good stuff to say about that. It's happy time with Jeanette. Hey, Terry, how you doing? My Friday embroidery friends. I gotta tell you, I really love hanging out with all you guys on Fridays. I really do. And I like sharing information, like how I'm feeling and little challenges that I'm having in this little embroidery world of ours and stuff, because I just feel like when I share this stuff, it helps you guys, because a lot of times I feel that people always like, it's not that I want to be the burden of the bad news, but I just prefer to just tell it like it is. Just tell you guys the freaking truth, okay? Sometimes some things can be easy and everything goes good, but then there's going to be something that can be a little challenging. Now, when I say the challenging, I'm not saying it can't be done, but what I'm just saying is, just get ready, okay? It can frustrate you, but we're going to make it happen. So it's just, I don't know. I just like sharing my experiences with you guys and stuff. Hey, Iris, very important part of being a business owner. Time, everything. Yeah, Iris, yes. Hey, Jenny, how are you? Crafty Puerto Rican, how you doing? Let's see. I saw your post of the apron. It looked great. Oh, thank you, Iris. That actually was for a chef who is starting his business, and he wanted to have his apron embroidered, and he said he's going to probably have more for me to do. And he is going to be opening his coffee shop in about I think 2 weeks or something like that. So I think it's a coffee shop restaurant or something like that. So yeah, so I'm definitely, I'm going to have to go over there. I'm going to have to go over there and have a cup of coffee and probably a pastry or something like that. So, and support, because I love to support small businesses. Just like they support me, you got to support them, So where is Mel tonight? Mello is lazy. I don't know. Mello, you going to do your cameo? Mello, where's my boo-boo? Where's my baby? I hear him coming. Are you going to come and say hi? Are you coming to say hi? How are you? I love you. Everybody, yeah. He went to the groomers this week. Right, boo-boo? You went to the groomers this week. You want to show people how cute you look at? Why don't you sit? Sit. Mello, sit. Sit. Can you sit? Can you sit, Mello? Oh, what a good boy. See? All that money in training paid off, right, Mello? All that money in training paid off. Yes, it did. It did. Mello is here, and I guess he was sleeping with Daddy. Were you sleeping with Daddy? You sure were. Okay, boo-boo. All right, I'm going to scoot over. I'm going to scoot over. Okay, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be in front of you. I know it's camera time. Camera time. There is Nello, Becky. He is right here. See, there goes Mel. There goes our Mel. And look at that tail. I don't know if you guys can see. That tail be wagging. Look at that. You and that tail. Oh, my God. Ugh. All right. He's being pushy now. I guess he wants attention. You want attention. There you go. All right. Yes. You're too cute. All right. Can I go back to my happy hour? You did your cameo? Okay. You did your little cameo? Yeah. You're like that, who is that old guy? Who's an old guy who used to do cameos in his show? I don't know. The name will probably come to me when I'm offline or something, you know? Okay. Hey, Alma, how you doing? Hey, Sonia. Everybody loves Mello. I'm telling you, man. I'm gonna have to teach you how to embroider. I am gonna have to teach you. Hey, Sonia, how you doing? Let's see. First time. Oh, first time. Welcome. Hey, Tammy, how are you? Char, Denise, how are you? Hey, Karen. Oh, Mel's now lying down. Hey, Ozzy, how are you? Yes, a fabulous Friday. It sure is. Hey, Michelle, how you doing? Hey, Becky. Oh, yes. If you like today's topic, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up because it really does help the channel a lot. And so, hey, Embroidery G, how you doing? Oh, watching the Outlander. What is the Outlander? I'm going to have to figure that out. I'm going to have to watch that and stuff. Oh, Ozzy says, this embroidery side gigs is awesome and challenging. I really don't sell a lot, but I love it. It's kind of therapeutic for me. You know, Ozzy, I did think at the beginning that it was a little therapeutic, but when the orders really start to like get in there, the therapeutic can kind of like get overwhelming. And this is another thing too, is sometimes you can end up getting an order of something different that you never worked on before. Like if you saw that the apron, right, that I embroidered today, and I put the video out there on the channel today. I have to admit, I was a little nervous about that apron because the material was very, very thick. And because it was thick, I was like thinking, oh man, is the embroidery machine going to be able to embroider that thick fabric? Am I going to end up getting needle breaks? That's what was going through my mind. Are my needles going to break? Is it going to snag? And then I asked him, where did he get that apron from? Those aprons are expensive. They're like $55 one apron. And I was like, wow, I don't get my aprons for that much. But they're good quality aprons. And if you notice, the apron didn't have any straps because he took them off. The straps are actually made out of leather. And, so those type of projects, things that I know I have done in the past, I breeze through them, no problem. But if I am dealing with like new material or a project that's like something that I know I could do it, but I haven't done it before, and I know that the product is pretty expensive, because I don't mind taking the risk. I'll take the risk, and if I break it, I'll pay for it and I'll replace it. It can make me a little nervous. So that to me can be a little bit nerve-wracking for me. So that part, I don't know. Could it be therapeutic and stuff? Maybe, sometimes if you sweat a little bit, it's not that bad. I don't know. But, I do love it. I agree with you. It's fun. It is fun. And it's something that, you could make good money. I mean, so far, I have literally been able to pay for my son's dorm. So that has been really, really good. Okay. There have been a couple of months where I had to go into my savings, but not as much as I thought that I had to, And thank goodness, Card, you only got one more year left, because after that, then I can say, okay, I'm good. Whatever money I make, I can just throw that in a savings account for me to treat myself for something. But lately it's all about him, 'cause I need to make sure that I set that man up for success, because I really want him to have a bright future. So yeah, so it can, yeah, but I agree with you. I mean, it is a nice little side gig. I enjoy embroidering too. I feel like you learn a lot, and it's really amazing all the things that you can do. Like one of the things, let me show you. I have this right now, and I was going to make some more. I don't know if you guys saw this. My sister, okay, she has the SC 1900. And when I was in Florida, of course, I didn't have my multi needle machine. And when my dad passed, when you talk about therapeutic, Ozzy, one of the things that Nancy did to, not to like forget, but to help her through the time, because we each handle situations differently, right? Some people get affected in different ways. And it really did hit Nancy extremely hard. And it's understandably too, because Nancy lives in Miami right next to my mom and dad, so she sees them on a more daily basis. Because I live in Virginia, it's not that I don't love them less, but it's just that I don't have that constant everyday contact with them. It was always like I would just call every week, to talk to my mom and dad. And and then I would see them like every like 5 6 months, and sometimes unfortunately it would take a year for me to make it out there. But it really did hit her hard. And it affected her a lot. And I know that when she did this, it was a way for her, to deal with it. But this is one of the things that she did. And this is my dad's name, and the year that he was born and the day he died. And she made all these different handkerchiefs, and they're beautiful. And she made them. And when we all went to the wake, she gave them out to all the people that came. And this was very, very touching. It's a really nice keepsake. And now my mom wants more of them, because she, when in the wake, they have these little cards. They give these little cards in the funeral home, and then in the back, they have like little sayings and stuff. So she got cards, and she wants to mail them to family. And along with the card, she wants to send each family member a handkerchief. So Nancy has the 1900s, so I can imagine it probably took her maybe a good hour or 45 minutes, maybe, I'm guessing, for her to do one. Since I have the multi-needle machines, I know I can pump these out a lot faster. So my mom reached out and asked me about it. So this weekend I'll probably make about 20 for her, and then mail them out on Monday so she can send them out and stuff. But that is something that I really love about embroidery, is that the unique things that you can really do for all types of occasions, and stuff. And you're right, Ozzy, it can be very, very therapeutic. It really can be. So yeah, so let's see. Hey Evelyn, how you doing? Oh, Ozzy says I'm still kind of new with my multi-needle machine, but I'm diving into digitizer. I suck at it, but I'll learn it. Do you think I am not going to do the digitizing thing? I know some digitizing, but I just know enough to fix the file if I need it. Okay. I kind of prefer to use digitizers for that, because that's their thing. And to be honest, I don't really have the time to actually sit down and really learn it. So if you can learn it, do your thing, because that is another thing that is very lucrative also. If you can digitize and you digitize really well, you can really make some good money off of that. Hey Sonia, how you doing? Took me a while, but I got it, so hang in there. Oh, Sonia looks like she's taught herself how to do it. I've messed up thread colors often. Oh, hey, Lisa, I have a new SC 1900 and 30 seconds into embroidering, the needle broke. I can't figure out what I am doing. I have a baby blanket that I have to do next week, and now my needle keeps breaking. Most likely, Lisa, you have to make sure you got it in there right. Needle breaking can be happening for several things. Either you're not putting the needle in correctly, putting it all the way up, okay, and you're not tightening it, or you could have a defective needle also, okay? And another thing, what I would do is test it out, like you take a piece of fabric, test it out, and don't go fast. Slow down your machine, okay? So those several things that could be happening in there. But what I would do, Lisa, also is if you can do a video of you embroidering and then the needle breaking, and if you can just post that video on our Facebook page, I bet you right away we can probably tell you what you're doing wrong, and we can help you from there. So that's what I would do. Embroidery G says, I have a whole bin of mistakes. I use those materials for test stitches on a new order. There you go. And I do the same thing. That's what I'm saying. Don't waste your material and stuff like that. There have been times when I'll do a kitchen towel and I messed up one side. I'll just toss it on the side. And then when I want to test out new designs, I'll do it on the other side of the kitchen towel. And if it looks really nice, I fold it up. People don't need to know what's in the other side. And I'll use that for a picture for a new listing for my shop. So, don't waste material. That's for sure. Iris says, I know what you mean, Jeanette. Sometimes I start doing something on the machine and then I start to cook and I end up burning the food. Yeah. It's really funny because I remember I read an article from Harvard Business Magazine. And they actually had an article about multitasking and that it's a myth. And a lot of times people say, oh, I can multitask. No, you can't. Your brain can only work so much. It's like to me, it's like, can you prioritize? That's really better. Okay. That means that you can start working on something, you can stop, and then you can continue to work on something else because that that's probably more important, or you have different due dates and stuff like that. I mean, there is really no such thing as multitasking and stuff. So, and I'm going to be honest with you, if you go to a job interview and they ask you about multitasking, don't take the job. That's when you don't take the job, and that's another thing too. I mean, because I supervised for a lot of years. And when I've had employees that, I believe in uplifting your employees. I am a true believer of that. If I had someone that worked with me for too long, I would tell them, hey, when are you going to go for a promotion? I think you deserve a promotion. You work really hard, because sometimes, positions are only budgeted for a certain amount. And even though you have a great employee and you want to see them promoted, you can't promote them because the budget's not there. So that's when you just come out and you just let people know, hey, you're ready for that next level. And I always told people, when you go to a job interview, they are interviewing you, but you are interviewing them. And I always look for what type of questions they ask me. And if, like I remember once I went to one job interview and they said, oh, if I tell you to do one thing and then someone else tells you to do something else, what would you do? Well, first of all, you asked me that means that you guys have an issue of communicating in the office. So that means there's a lot of miscommunication. There's a lot of problems, and I don't need that. So to me, I was like, this ain't the job for me. Now, of course, I didn't tell them that. Okay. But before I left, I did kind of kindly tell them that I really didn't think that this was a suitable position for me and that I would like my name to be removed from the list of considerations. So, don't ever be afraid of going after what you want, So when, to me, that was a trigger question. Whenever I went on a job interview and they said, do you know how to multitask? That to me means you don't want to work there, because that means that they are unrealistic. Okay. Because there is no such thing as multitasking. So I would run. So it's just, that's just me. Okay. But as you can see, somebody was multitasking, and they burn their food. So sometimes, you gotta do your thing. Let's see, where was I? Let's see. Yeah, so Iris burned her food from multitasking. So you see, you can't always do that. Hey, Marlene. Looks like Marlene, she said she was having trouble with 2 of her needles. Decided to do a complete clean and rethread over it, corrected the problem, and it saved me a bundle. I was going to call a service. And that's another thing too. Yeah, rethread the whole machine. Who was the lady that was having the issues? Lisa. Rethread the whole machine and everything. And it's new. I'm going to tell you something right now. When you first get the machine, you start to embroider, you're going to make so many mistakes, and you're going to have so many issues, but it's not your fault. You're learning. Okay. So my encouragement to you is, you don't give up, ask questions, reach out for help. I really recommend, start with our Facebook group, which is Embroidery Happy Hour Adventures on Facebook. Join that group, ask the questions and stuff. People there are very, very helpful. You're going to start learning about bird nesting. You're going to start learning about tension. And unfortunately, these are things that you're going to learn the hard way. Okay. You're going to learn because they're going to happen. And when they happen, you're going to be like, oh, crap, But just know that as time goes on, you're going to get better. You're going to start understanding the machine. You're going to start understanding why certain things happen. And before you know it, you're going to be pumping out stuff, and you're going to be like really like excited about embroidery. Trust me. Let's see. I was so excited to unbox and get it going. Within an hour, I can no longer play with my machine because the needle broke. Yeah, see, she's gonna get she's gonna get frustrated. Lisa, hang in there. Got to 2 needles. It broke again, and now I'm out of needles until I can purchase more tomorrow. Figure out why it continues broken. Lisa, let me give you a word of advice also. Okay, buy a lot of needles. And it's not because you're, and I don't want you to think, oh my God, you're telling me to buy a whole bunch of needles because all my needles are going to break. No, I'm telling you to buy a bunch of needles because you need to get accustomed to changing those needles out. And what I mean is, a needle is only good for up to 8 hours of sewing. After 8 hours of sewing, your needle is going to be dull, and it's going to affect the integrity of your embroidery. And it can also cause the needle to break as well. So just my recommendation is just buy a pack of 100. The SC1900 only uses 1 needle. A pack of 100 should last you for about, well, depending on how much you're going to be using this machine. And I know it's new, so you're probably excited. You're going to be sewing every day. But a pack of 100 will probably last you maybe 2 or 3 months. Okay, so that's what I recommend that you do is make sure you get a pack. Okay, make sure you get a 7511, which is embroidery. That's for 40 weight thread. Okay, your embroidery thread should be 40 weight. You use 60 weight for small fonts. And if you're using small fonts, you should be using a size 65-9 embroidery needle. Okay. So, just little hints. All right. Does anyone know how to enlarge your design once it's been digitized on Embroidery? Yes, Sonia. All you have to do is when you click on the actual design, you'll have a box around it, and then what you can do is just stretch out the box. Now, a little word of caution though, when you stretch out the box, there is only so much you can stretch it out. As you start to enlarge items, okay, Embroidery itself will start to fill in the stitches. However, there's only a certain percentage that you can enlarge. If you go too large, then what can happen is, you're gonna mess up the integrity of the design, and then Embroidery is not gonna let you make it larger anymore. So if you have a design that was digitized for a specific size, you can probably enlarge it a little bit, but not much. Okay, so I hope that helps. All right, so but when you click on the design in Brilliance, you'll see the box. Okay, and then just take a corner of the box and then just drag it, and you'll see that it'll grow a little bit. But you can't drag it where you're gonna like make it so huge. It doesn't work like that. There's only a certain percentage that you can increase the size of a design. If you need the design to be bigger, you're going to have to reach out to a digitizer to redo that design for a bigger size. So hope that helps a little bit. But I have no idea. Jeanette have helped me a great deal. The machine up and running, but now I'm stuck. You're just stuck temporarily, Lisa. You're gonna get over this hump. Okay, you will figure it out and stuff. Like I said, if you could do like a little video to show where it actually broke, okay, like I'm sure you're not hitting the sides of your hoop, because you would know obviously that was the cause of the needle break. Okay, but it could be that maybe you inserted your needle incorrectly. Maybe you didn't push it all the way up. You got to make sure you have that needle all the way up when you insert it. You change it, and you also got to make sure you tighten it well. Okay, you can't have it loose, because if you have the needle loose, it'll break. Okay, so I'm wondering if that's your issue and stuff. Well, hopefully it'll work. And the type of needle that you're using also, you can't just use any needle. Marlene's got a point there. If you're using a 7511 needle, then you should be good for the embroidery. Okay. Let's see. Yep, always have a good supply at hand. Yep. Make sure the needles are turned the correct way. Yep, there you go. Hey, Joanna, how are you? First one, you'll be able to collect all the pieces of it. Yep. Can you talk about how much you charge for different designs? Sometimes I'm not sure if I should buy the stitch count. Michelle, I do have a embroidery happy hour where I talk about pricing. Okay. Now, one of the things though, because I don't want to just like not answer your question and stuff. I do have a video on that, but some of the key points that I want you to really consider, because everyone has their own way of how they price embroidery, right? Some people do buy thousands of stitches. They have a price. You can do that, but I want you to think about the other stuff too. The cost of your stabilizer, the cost of your time, the cost of your machine, the cost of the electricity, the cost of you digitizing that file. Okay. You have to think of all this stuff. Okay. So, when, depending, my prices vary very often. Okay. I don't have a standard price. Usually what I'll do is I will look at what the project entails, okay, the stabilizer and all that kind of stuff. I know I bill myself at $50 an hour, okay? Now, I also look at how many stitches are in that file, how much stabilizer I'm going to use. I also look at how long is that stitch going to take. Usually what I'll do is instead of charging by the thousands. I like to say I'm $50 an hour. And then I do the math and say, okay, it takes about 3 minutes to prep and 15 minutes to stitch. So that's like 18 minutes. And then what I'll do is I'll do the math. And then I say, okay, this is how much. If there's digitizing that's involved, I add that in as well. Okay. So there's no really right or wrong. Okay. Whatever method you use to price, the only thing that I say, Michelle, is make sure that you are comfortable with getting that amount of money for your work. That is really the most important thing to me. Okay. I don't want you or anybody to ever feel like they've been taken or gypped. All right. A lot of people out there will take advantage of you. So just think about that. Now, I do have a live where I talked about all the different things that you should price, how you can price them and all that kind of stuff. Like, for instance, if you have like a pack of stabilizer, right? And it costs $19.99 and there's 100 sheets in there. Okay. You do the math, it's like, 19 cents per sheet. Okay. Of stabilizer. So, every time you have to pull a piece of stabilizer for a project, if you got to do 2 sheets, then, that would be 20, that's 40 cents right there. Start adding the materials and stuff like that, then add your time and all that. That's usually how I kind of do it. And then also depending on the design, I sometimes have logos that have over 30,000 stitches and stuff like that. And then I kind of look at the volume as well. If it's only one item, I'm going to price it a little higher. If they come out and they say, hey, here's 15 shirts, and I see that it's something that I would normally price at 30, I'll probably come out and say, okay, since it's 15 shirts, I'll do them at maybe, instead of 30, I'll do like $24 a shirt, something like that. You know what I mean? I'll knock off $6 because the thing is, I'm doing volume. I'm doing a bulk. Okay, so there's different ways to price it. You just got to make sure that you select the pricing that's best for you. Okay. Now I'm thinking that if I needed to remove the needle that came with the machine to confirm that it was an embroidery needle, maybe the machine came with a sewing needle intact. Yeah, you got to really, okay. Yeah, Lisa, you're going to have to learn your needles and stuff, because a sewing needle is different from an embroidery needle. Now, you can use a 7511 to sew. You can, but I don't know what needle was probably in there. Okay, so you're going to want to buy a 7511 for embroidering, like I said, 65.9 if you're going to embroider small fonts. You're going to want your sewing needles, which is probably like an 8012. Okay, so you're gonna want to make sure that you're using the right needle for what you're doing. Okay. Hey, Marlene, how are you? How you doing? Let's see. Poor Lisa. Everybody's trying to help you. I think that's awesome. I think it's awesome that everybody's trying to do their thing. Jeanette, there is a friend that wanted an embroidered blanket for $20. I almost fell out of my chair. Yeah, you see, and Lisa totally got it. And this is what I mean. Okay. See, when somebody says, oh, can you do an embroidery for $20, like a name or something like that? Now, this is the thing. If you just want a name, okay, which is simple, it's just a simple name, one color, okay, then okay, $20, I think that's okay. However, if you want a design with a name and a whole bunch of different colors, $20 ain't gonna cut it. Totally agree, Lisa. No. So, it's just not, that's why I say Every project has its own price. You can't just come out and say, hey, I'm going to embroider everything for $20. It's just not going to work that way. You're not going to be able to do it. You have to look at what's the details of that order. I mean, if they just wanted a name Lisa, then I would be like, okay, $20 is kind of reasonable. But the thing is also is, let's say that the blanket they give you is very plush, right? Very fluffy. Just the name's not going to cut it. You're going to need knockdown stitches. And knockdown stitches is a lot of stitches, which means it's going to take a lot of time. So there's no way that's going to be $20, So just stuff to think about, Angela and stitches. Yes, buyers cannot dictate the prices. See, I had to put it out there, Angela and stitches, because I know I'm not nuts. I'm not nuts. I know that some people come out and they tell me, well, Jeanette, you're mean. No, it's not being mean. It's about not allowing people to take advantage of you. This is your business. You know how much that thread costs. You know how much that stabilizer costs. You know how much that machine costs, the electricity, your time, and everything like that. It's yours. It's coming out of your pocket. I mean, come on now. Thank you, Angela and Stitches. I'm glad you agree. They can't dictate the prices. No, they cannot. And I'm not, and I'm sorry. It's just, that's just how I feel. It's just, if you're going to come here and you're going to tell me what you're going to pay me, you really need to go somewhere else, because this is not the venue for you. I'm just not going to allow it. I just don't. And the thing is also is, be careful what you charge, because if you charge too low, you best believe that people are going to be sharing that information out there, and they're going to say, oh my God, do you need anything embroidered? Go to her, because she charges real cheap. And then before you know it, yeah, you got a lot of orders, but you know what? You're really not doing too well, because you're underselling your talent, and you're not getting paid what you're supposed to get paid. And you got to remember, all the materials that you use to do embroidery costs money. All of it costs money. Okay, so and you're in embroidery to make money, not lose money, right? And so you want, like I said, what's important to me is having a reputation as someone that does good quality work. That is the reputation that I want. I don't care about, all this other stuff. Nah. Good quality work. That's it. I want people to know that when they come to me, it's solid. It is solid work. I want them, the conversations need to be, you go to her, she won't disappoint. You go to her, you get good quality work. That's what I want. That is what I want. Let's see. Let's see. What else? Let's see. I know there's a lot of conversations about stitch count versus hourly rate. For me at the moment, I do $150 for 1,000 stitches plus the cost of the item. And that's good, Embroidery G. I mean, that's a good way to do it and stuff. Like I said, you just got to make sure you cover everything, that you are comfortable with what you are getting paid. You know what I'm saying? If you're comfortable and it's covering everything, then you're golden, because you're getting what you want. And this is the other thing too, guys. You got to remember where you are. There are some places where prices are different, okay? In some states, you can charge more, and in some states, you can't charge that much, because the economics is just different, all right? So, a lot of times when people come and say, well, Jeanette, where do you, what do you charge? I live in Northern Virginia. It's expensive to live out here, so I could kind of charge high, and I'm fine. But if I go to a state, like maybe I don't know. To me, I thought Florida was starting to get a little expensive and stuff. But let's say South Carolina. I think South Carolina's a little cost of living is a little lower, or Tennessee or Ohio. Let's say Ohio or something. I can't come out and say, give the same prices that I get, because people really can't afford it. Their earnings are less there. So, you just gotta think about supply and demand. So just, in one place someone can charge one price, but for a particular item, but then sometimes somewhere else they can't really charge that because it's just not feasible for folks. So that's another thing you have to think about. Let's see. I charge which $15 price plus. That's about what I do. Yes, Marlene. That's what I do. I will not, and this is the thing that I always say. My lowest price is $15. $15. Okay. And I've even had people come out and say, well, I only want an initial $15. I don't care if that initial is only 3,000 stitches. I still got to turn on the machine. That is my minimal start, $15. Okay. That is so wrong. But yes, customers haggle all the time. Yep. Lisa, it is true. Yeah. She says customers haggle all the time. The other side, people will think your work is no good if you are too cheap. That is, you know what? Let me highlight that. Lisa, that is very, very, very true. That is something else that we should think about also. She's got a very good point. She said the other side. People will think your work is no good if you are too cheap. And that is, Lisa, you hit that on it's very, very, very true. It is like, let's say like when you go to the dollar store, right? Where it's just now the $1.25 store, right? You go and you buy something and it's like really cheap, cheap in price, but sometimes when you look at the quality, it's kind of cheap too. You know what I'm saying? So but you don't mind because you're paying $1.25. So what Lisa's saying is, if you really charge too cheap, they're going to think that they're going to get sloppy work or something like that. But some people might be okay with that. Okay. But the thing is, to me, I look at it as if your work is of good quality. I mean, real good quality. Because like I always say, I like my stuff to look crisp, clean. I mean, excellent. Okay. You know why? Because I'm asking them to pay for it. And then when they see what they pay for, they don't have a problem paying what I asked for. They don't, because they know that I got it. They're like, oh, it's going to look beautiful. So I'm not going to worry about it. How much do you want? Fine. Because they're getting good quality work. So Lisa, thanks so much for saying that, because that is so, so, so true. It is true. Yeah, Marlene is telling Lisa, when you're doing small letters with a 40 weight thread, it's not going to look crispy. It is true. It is not. When you are doing small fonts, Lisa, you want to use 60 weight thread, and you also want to use it with a 65/9 embroidery needle. That's what you want to use. And you know what, Lisa, I do have a video out there in my channel where I talk about 40 weight thread and 60 weight thread, and the 75/11 needle with the 65/9 needle. So that way you could learn when to use what. Okay, because you might end up having some designs that require both, because there's going to be certain areas in a design that's going to require a 60 weight thread. Okay, I know it's probably going to sound complicated right now, and your head's probably spinning, going, oh my God, what did I get into? Why did I buy this machine? It's just so much to learn. But trust me, it's all going to come. It's going to come together. It's just in the beginning, it can be a little bit like, but you're going to get it. You're going to get it. Just hang in there. You're going to do fine. Okay. Let's see. How's Nancy doing? Will she be on tomorrow? I believe she will. I think she's doing good. I haven't spoken to her lately. I know she's been really busy, Iris, helping my mom settle a lot of things. There's so many paperwork and everything that has to happen. And with my mom's situation too, the thing is my dad did everything, right? They were old school, okay? They were married for 56 years. So they were old school. So it's like my dad did everything. He paid bills and all that kind of stuff. So now my mom has to, her life's changed, right? So now she has to adjust to, now she's got to learn how to pay her own bills and all that kind of stuff. So Nancy's helping her through all that. And there's just so much paperwork, so many things that they have to do. So I know she's been really, really busy. Oh, she's on. There she is. There she goes. Hey, Nancy, how you doing? And I'm sure Nancy's probably like, you got that right. And she's probably like, I'm running around with Mom. And Nancy and Jeanette's having a good time in Virginia. I know it. So welcome, Nancy. I know that you've been taking care of Mom and stuff like that. So yeah, but I'm sure Nancy's doing good. And she's going to keep her channel going because that's her therapy and stuff like that. So, and you should see all the yarn that lady has. I'm like, Nancy has no business. And I'm going to say this. I know she's going to be pissed at me, but because I see she's in the chat. And I know she really ain't got no business going to the dollar store no more. She really don't. Okay. I mean, the amount of yarn that she has in there and fabric, I'm like, she could have a Joann's house store at her house. She needs to start making some stuff. She really does. She needs to open up an Etsy shop and stuff. But I'm sure that once everything settles down, I bet you that Nancy's probably going to start doing that stuff. I know it. Let me see. What are the steps to start a home-based embroidery business, Joanna? They are a lot of things that you need to consider. I do have a couple of videos in the channel that talks a little bit about it. Basically what I did, Joanna, was I actually set up an Etsy shop. That's what I did. And I started creating items, that I wanted to sell. Doing in different types of embroidery projects and stuff. And whenever something was really cute, I would make a listing and I would set it up on my Etsy. And that's usually how it is. And you just grow it a little bit, Etsy's a really good place to start. I kind of like it. Some people don't. I like it because it's a place where customers go to look for unique items. So if you're doing embroidery and stuff like that, I would say consider doing that. Look into that and stuff. And that would be really a good place for you to start, for you to like try to sell stuff on there and everything. And then you just start building it little by little and stuff. But I do have a lot of videos on my channel about having a home-based embroidery business. I've been doing this for a couple of years now, and it is very lucrative. It really, truly is. It's been doing pretty good for me. It works. Hey girl, for real, how you doing? You have helped a lot of people here with all your wisdom, honesty, and beauty. And thank you. Oh, thank you, girl, for real. I'm glad you like the channel, and I'm really glad that the information that I share with you guys on a weekly basis really does help you guys. Because that's really what I kind of like really want. And not only that, it's like I have somebody that I can talk to about embroidery, because I think my husband, he kind of gets tired of me talking about it sometimes, So I kind of feel like it's a place where I can go and talk about what I like doing and, have fun, and share. And if I can help one or two people out there, to do their thing, it was worth it. That's how I see it. Let me see. Jeanette, I'm like you. If you place an order and I get on it immediately. I don't have many orders, none from Etsy so far, but local, yes. Doing Saturday market is a help a lot. Oh, yeah. And that's another thing, Joanna. You asked about a home-based embroidery business. Marlene does Sunday market by where she lives, where she, like, sets up a tent and stuff like that, and she creates a whole bunch of embroidery products and she puts it out there to sell. That is another great way to not only sell stuff that you've made at home, that really aren't personalized or anything like that, but you can like sell. But you can also get your name out there, and when people come and look at it, they can ask you, oh, do you do any personalized embroidery work? Absolutely. And that's a great place for them to not only get to see your work, on other stuff, but then you can talk to them, and next thing you know, you could end up getting business that way too. So that actually kind of, works. I embroidered requested items free for family and friends due to my age. I keep a record of these requests so that family know what needs to be completed or returned. Yeah, I do give gifts, Sassy. I do give gifts for family and friends and stuff like that. Like right now, I am embroidering a bunch of stuff. Let me show you. I just finished something. Show you guys. This is something that I'm going to be mailing out on Monday. My cousin Lillian also lives in Florida, and she lives in Orlando. So when my dad passed, she drove, and she has her dad is like in the 90s. She actually had to get someone to come to the house to help care for her dad. She and her sister got in the car. They drove all the way from Orlando to Miami to visit me, my sister, my mom at the viewing, and she stayed an hour, and then she had to literally get in her car and drive all the way back to Orlando. And she was hustling because she had to be home by 10 o'clock and everything. And that meant a lot to me because that to me was like 8 hours on the road, and just for her to be with us at that time, that really, really meant a lot. So I wanted to send her a thank you gift to her and her sister, Madeline. So one of the things I did for Lillian was I decided to make her some dinner napkins. And these are the dinner napkins that I made her. Okay. And I made 6 of them. So I have them packaged up and ready to take to, to deliver to her. For Madeline, I'm not going to do the dinner napkins. What I was going to do is I'm going to do a reading pillow for her. So I'm going to be designing the reading pillow for her tonight, and I'm going to be embroidering it. I'll probably videotape me doing that. So if you guys want to know how I do the reading pillows, you guys will know how I do it. So what I was going to do is I was going to have those 2, and I was going to package them up and then have them delivered, put them in the post office on Monday as a thank you gift for being so supportive during such a difficult time for us. So those are some of the things that I like to do, free. I like to give thank you gifts and all that kind of stuff, and graduation gifts and everything, which reminds me, I owe Ethan a graduation gift. Oh my God. He graduated high school, and I got to do something. There's a lot of things that I have to catch up on. I've been home for about a week, and I am not even like caught up. I'm just not with orders and stuff like that. So it's just a lot. And then I also I want to do all these thank you gifts also for friends and family. And so I have a lot going on. But yeah, but Sassy, totally agree. I mean, let's see. So excited to embroider with a machine after embroidering by hand. Oh, I want to learn, Lisa, how to embroider by hand. And I'm going to start to try to figure that out and stuff. Because I know that there's a bunch of different stitch styles that you can do by hand and stuff. So that's going to be like so cool. Hey, Sonia, where I have 1 more year to retire from teaching. So I'm trying to learn everything now. Hey, Sonia, yeah, I'm jealous. You only got a year to retire, and I got 3. Okay, I got 3. And I feel like these 3 years are going so slow. That's how I feel. And everyone tells me, don't wish your life away, But I'm like, I want to be so done. But I gotta hang in there. I really, really do. But congrats, Sonia. And before you know it, you'll be retired. You'll be doing this full time. Let's see. Learn time for me after a breakdown from working 100 plus hours a week. Reality check for real. I'm telling you, yeah, it's tiring. Your energy and stuff. And even my sister, look at that. So much to do. I'm getting ready for tomorrow and I'm still catching up. It hit all of us. It really did. It hit all of us and stuff. So it's like, I mean, time, it's like you, and this is the thing. It's like you work full time. And it's the same thing with my sister. My sister is still working full time also. And her job is very similar to mine. It's like, back in the old days, that's one thing that I tell my mom. In her time, there used to be a clock on the wall, and people used to take a card and they would clock in. And then at the end of the day, they would take the card and clock out, right? Now, jobs are not like that. Now it's like you do have your working hours, but a lot of times with technology and stuff like that, it's like you really work a lot longer. And there are a lot of times when on the weekends, I do find myself logging on and having to catch up work that I, wasn't able to finish during the week and stuff like that. It's a lot. It really, really, truly is a lot. And times have really changed. Time has really changed. I think jobs are very much demanding. They're much more demanding than they used to be of people's time. And I think because of that, I think the younger generation, they kind of realize that. And I think what's happening now is that they are starting to lean on becoming more entrepreneurs and really, doing their thing on their terms. That's how I feel. I see that with my son. Likewise, Jeanette, I love my date on Fridays with you and everyone. Yeah, and I gotta be honest with you, Maureen. I sometimes feel like this is my downtime with you guys. It's the time where I can turn off the machines and I can just have a serious conversation with you guys about what I got going on, what I learned, and all that kind of stuff, and share information with you guys. This is downtime for me, which is probably why, like, my sister kind of laughs at me because she's like, your embroidery happy hour is like embroidery happy hours, because she's like, you just don't know how to shut up. And I'm like, because I like this. I like sharing information with people. And, I don't know, I like it and stuff. And I hear you whining. I heard you whining. Look at that. Mello was whining. Oh, my goodness. And stuff. He's such a good boy. Look at that tail. I tell you, boy, it's like a little duster. Yeah, your tail's like a duster. Yeah. Look at that. He loves that. All right, let's see. Hey, Miss Max, how are you? How you doing? Everybody loves Mello. Mello's the star. You're the star, Mello. You're the star. You are. Yeah, look at you. Look at you. And Mello he is a real lifesaver. I'm telling you, it's like I love having this dog because even with the rough time that we've had this past couple of weeks, having Mello to hug and all that kind of stuff and everything, it's been awesome. I tell you. I mean, it's like dogs know. I feel like dogs know when times are rough and stuff because he would just climb into the bed. And he was like, oh, you want to hug me? Awesome dog, right? Oh, you're so awesome. You're so awesome. I think they cut you a little bit too close on the nose, Mello. And they gave you your haircut today. Well, yeah, they did. Oh, look at that. He's yarning. Yarning. I think he's trying to say, is it time to go to bed? Is it? Oh, my goodness. Look at that dog. I tell you. You're melting my heart. Oh my goodness, you pushed me. You're so mean. Okay, did you see that? Did you see that dog attack? Oh my God. Oh. Okay. So let's see. Something happened on my screen. All right. Let's see. Da, 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 da. Hey Tammy, how you doing? Hey Bass Cheeks, how are you? It can be stressful. A reaction. Yep, it can. Um. Oh, I saw your video on the hooping station with Mighty Hoops. Bought it and loved it. Hey Michelle Woods, I love my hooping station. Love, love, love it. It's the best thing. Let's see. Maybe the new machine is just effective. So disappointed. Oh, Lisa, I hope it's not, because that would suck. Oh, it suffered. I'm in Haymarket. Michelle. Hey Trish, made him a mini quilt and put it in his casket. Aw. You know, I really wish, Trisha, that I had something that I could have put in his casket. But the thing is, like, I wasn't home, so I wasn't around my machine or anything. So it kind of sucked, you know? Yeah, Nancy made those napkins really, really, really cute. She did a really good job. Um, hey Eartha, how are you? It's up. Stop, Mello. He keeps bothering me. You guys see that? Oh God, I forget to eat sometimes. Oh my goodness. Um, there you go. On in Brilliance Essentials, and I'm going to show that on a Brilliance, you should only enlarge it by 20% of the original design. So yeah, so that's as big as you can go in enlarging a design. Thank you, Crafty Puerto Rican. Appreciate Jenny. Let's see. Hey Anna, how you doing? Hey Margie. My thread wound itself underneath the spool so tight it broke the needle. I use small needle for embroidering and sewing many years, no problem. I had lower prices. Now in Florida, I raised my prices. Yeah, Evelyn. Yeah, and I think things are more expensive there in in Florida than in Puerto Rico. Totally agree. Let me see how you break down the valuable information. Learning so much from you. Oh, you're welcome, Pearl. I'm glad that you like the channel, that you're learning. Sounds like my house, Jayla. Yeah, Nancy has one love for yarn. I don't know what it is. It's like she takes the yarn and she feels, she's like, oh, it's so soft, or something, the texture, the way it looks, or whatever. Next thing you know, it's in her bag and she's out the store with her yarn. So she's got a problem with yarn. Nancy's got a problem with yarn. She's always with the yarn and stuff. Where did you get your napkin designs? Oh, they're nice. Oh, my cousin's napkin designs. This is Anna, this is what I recommend you do. There are so many different designs. So many, not just this one, okay? Go on Etsy, and what you do is do a search for embroidery frame designs. You're going to see so many nicer than this, Anna, and you're going to flip. You're going to be like, oh my God, this is really nice, you know? So, let's see. Okay, actually looking at the Mighty Hoop Station. Oh, well, Jenny, I did some videos on the Mighty Hoop Station. Okay, I even there's a Mighty Hoop Station for the SC1900 also, and I did a video on that as well. So you might want to check that out on the channel as well and stuff. So, let's see. Okay. Looks like I got everybody and everything, and it's kind of late. I think I'm going on 2 hours, guys. Okay, 2 hours. So anyway, guys, I am so glad that you guys joined me this Friday. My sister will be on tomorrow. on Saturday at noon for craft or noon time. Her channel is called Gifts HQ. Okay, so if you have a moment, it would be great if you guys can watch her live. She does a really good lives and showing you guys how to do stuff and where her great buys are and everything like that. You'll really like her channel. And if you watch the channel from the beginning, from the very beginning of her video, she does quizzes, which are a lot of fun to do. I could never get those questions. I don't know what it is. It's just something I just don't get. So, but if you can join her, that'd be great. And her channel, I'm gonna put it on here in the chat. This is the name of her channel, in case you guys are interested, and you guys can see her tomorrow at noon and stuff. Okay, so guys, I am going to call it the night. Thank you so much for all your support. Thank you for hanging out with me this Friday night, and I hope you found this information useful. And if you did, please give me a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing. I have a bunch of videos on the channel on the SC1900, on embroidering different types of projects and everything. My whole goal is just to teach you guys how to do great fun things with your embroidery machines. So I will talk to you guys later. You guys have a great weekend, and don't forget to make sure you take some time out for yourself, okay, and enjoy your little side hustle. Okay, I mean, even though we talked about some of the challenges that a side hustle can give you, at the end of the day, really is a lot of fun. It can be fun, it can be lucrative, and it's yours. So just enjoy it, and it's gonna be okay. So I will talk to you guys later. See you guys next Friday. Bye.